Hi, my name is Uncle Don, and you are listening to This Thing in the Mud. This right here is a review of my week and a reflection of the recent happenings in and around Lagos. I'm not sure if I am the only one who feels like every week plays out a different subject in Lagos and in Nigeria, and it serves as a case study for everyone to talk about. 2 weeks ago, it was domestic violence that was trending. This week, it is bestiality. And if you live in Lagos where things are fast-paced, you will see that on a weekly basis, there are two or more stories in review. But let's talk about bestiality today because for the past few days, it has refused to go away. So, I was reading a little history about the subject and I found out that it has been in existence since the time of man. But most commonly, Egypt has been the one place that man has gone as far as sleeping with a crocodile. Egyptians are reported to have mastered the act of sexual congress with the crocodile. This was accomplished by turning the creature onto its back, rendering it incapable of resisting penetration. And this form of copulation was believed to bring prosperity and restore the potency of man, according to Hanik Meliski. There are stories in ancient Greece, England, America, China, India, and a few more European countries involved in the act of bestiality back in the days. And while some countries saw execution as a punishment for bestiality, other places gave life imprisonment. But I think it should make us rethink the subject of mental health and why people do the things that they do when things like this come up. The question flying around is, why would someone even indulge in such an act? I read somewhere where they said that in ancient time, the act of bestiality was thought to be a cure for nymphomaniacs, which is a process of curing uncontrollable sexual urge in women. But when I read it, I thought that humans just made up excuses to do silly things. For me, that is madness that needs to be cured in itself. You see, I've never really been a fan of dogs in my life, and this is because I had a terrible childhood with them while growing up. They were always after me. I never really knew why, but they did, and so I vowed never to have a dog and to be careful when I go close to one of them. Now, I know some of you dog lovers would say that dogs are man's best friend, and yes, I accept the fact that dogs are man's best friend because last month, my friend decided to get a dog because we were facing security challenges. But unfortunately, the little puppy died before we could even get it to back a cockroach away from our house. The person who sold it to us had done a terrible job in the health aspect of the little puppy when it was born. And we couldn't help the poor thing even when we had tried vaccinating and taking it to the vet. That was money lost and it was painful to know. Maybe this could have been my opportunity to like dogs again, but it never happened. And then when the stories of women sleeping with dogs came up this week, it just brought the whole vibe to zero. I never really knew some people would take it as far as what this week has been presented to us. But again, after that little history lesson, I now understand why they say that there's nothing new under the sun, and what goes around comes around. But the fact that certain women are sleeping with dogs for money in Lagos is something worrisome. In an age where women are thriving in different sectors, one would think that this is the best time to make the best out of life. This sort of thing needs to be checked. Like they say, it takes one thing to alter the outlook of a thing or a person. While I've never really been a fan of dogs, the idea of even seeing it next to a woman now is an idea I'm training my mind to see differently. And I believe most people feel the same way. It is what society has made it look like in the past 1 week. The act of bestiality, be it man or woman, just goes to show us how far human beings can go to put up an act. And if there is one lesson I'm learning from all of this, it is a testament to our determination spirit as human beings that we can do so many things, including the ones that are bad to our health and that can even destroy us. I and my friend Mr. Cadillac were discussing the other day the things that we could never be caught doing and why human beings portray certain behaviors. And it boiled down to home training. As a kid growing up, there are certain morals and things that your parents teach you that you take with you to your grave. And when these morals are not properly instilled in kids, at older age they fall and crack. While this is a subject to ponder on, and I think it still goes down to how people are raised in society and the information we consume on a daily basis. The world is changing and it is becoming scary on a daily. Please, and please, I'm begging, take care and do not find yourself in a questionable position. And that is what is in the mud. Ciao. If you enjoyed this episode of This Thing in the Mud, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop us a comment on our YouTube and social media pages. My handle is at uncle_Don, and it is spelled UNKL_DON on Instagram and Twitter. See you next week. All my love.